Hello, everyone. Welcome into this space today. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited for this video. It is a video that I have wanted to put out for such a long time, and now the timing is right. And it just brings me so much excitement. It's a topic that I'm so passionate about, as many of you may be aware. And there's just so much that's going on in our planet, through humanity, through this ascension journey, in terms of our healing process, in terms of the return of the Great Mother energy to this planet, to our experience as spiritual beings having a human journey, and that connection to our creator blueprint, that birthing energy of the Great Mother is so alive right now. And I felt the urgency to bring out this video today, which is going to be a PowerPoint presentation. And the reason that I've done that is to just keep things in a good flow. This realm tends to get very fast, very quick. And this is just a way that I can keep things organized in my own mind. And so I'll be moving through slides. I have a lot of images to share as well. And I'll be speaking about the Cosmic Mother. I'll be speaking about our mitochondrial DNA and the depletion that we have experienced on this earth, and how that connects in to the inverted matrix of which we are transcending, of which we are overcoming in terms of our codependent bond upon these systems to impact the quality of our life. We are emancipating ourselves out of those systems. That is the inverted mother that I'm going to speak about. And so we might as well just get straight into it. Okay, so here we are. And so, as I mentioned before, I'm going to be speaking about the Great Mother energy and how we are accessing these original templates of creation, how it is that we are able to rebirth ourselves, to create exalted states of consciousness, to rebirth ourselves, to birth the higher timelines. This is all aspects of the mother energy within us, within our divine blueprints. And we're going to be speaking about the play on words, the spells that have been cast upon the language and our interpretation of what the true matrix is and what the inverted matrix is, and essentially how we've been confused about the true mother matrix and how we have been misidentifying what that really is. Okay, and that absolutely affects our association with it, our relationship with it, and therefore our energetic stance upon the matrix. And essentially everything that we are moving through is, in this journey of ascension, is the animation of the soul through the body. This is an ascension, a physical ascension through the cellular structures of our body. And this process of illumination, of becoming that radiant, empowered, authentic, loving creator being that you are, is all connected to the functioning of the mitochondria. It is deeply affected by our relationship with the Cosmic Mother and this beautiful legacy of creation that is here for us for these incredible changing times. Okay, so what is the matrix? The matrix that we've all heard of, that we talk about all the time. We use this word all the time. Okay, so the matrix essentially is the systems and the structures of our collective society that bind us to the traditional cultural ways of living and working. So these are systems like the government, like education, the political systems, the employment systems, our healthcare, the financial, banking, monetary system, and also the food production systems. And there are many other kinds of systems as well, but these are just the main ones that I'm pointing out here. And so this matrix that we live in, that we incarnate into, it conditions our sense of purpose from the very beginning. It also influences our values and our perspective. And as so many of us are talking about right now, and what is being so activated in the spiritual path with so many people who are awakening on this earth, especially since 2012 and more recently 2020 with everything that's happened globally, a lot of beings are starting to realize the great inhibition that this system has placed upon their unique expression and personal power, that ability, that total freedom to be who you truly are on this earth. And so it's really who we've been programmed to think that we are, both consciously and unconsciously, and how we identify within the current system. And so this is the matrix. But what I find so fascinating is that the matrix actually means mother. If you go and look up this word and see the etymology, you're going to realize that the matrix actually means uterus. Matrix means womb. It means mother. And I wonder how many people on this earth truly realize the actual meaning. And remembering that these spells on words are on purpose. And we are giving our power away when we believe that the matrix is something that we need to fight. We are not here to fight the mother. And we are not here to be in conflict with the cosmic womb, with the nourishing, supportive mother energy that is here for us to nurture us into our greatest becoming, our most exquisite blossoming. And so the energetics here are already so disrupted and so distorted when we think about what the matrix truly means. A place or a medium where something is developed, where something comes to life. So the source origin, the root word is mater. Okay, mater also translates to matter, the materialization, the material, the fabric of space-time. Thinking about, when a baby comes out of the womb, it's immediately swaddled in soft fabrics, right? This is the mother energy of birthing and wielding and manifesting in total freedom. This is what the matrix is. And so we must make that distinction in our ascension process. If we really want to be empowered, if we really want to be standing in our ultimate brilliance, we have to know the difference between the societal matrix, the inverted matrix, and the true mother womb matrix, that divine mother energy. Because the matrix that we are all running from as spiritually awakened beings, this is a false mother construct. It is a false parent. And that false parent construct is not here to nourish us. It is not here to hold us and support us. And so this is the delicate process of unbinding and disentangling ourselves, our consciousness and our awareness from these spells. And so we must remove those veils if we are able to see and perceive reality with any level of clarity. This is how we free ourselves from these controlled agendas. So the true mother matrix is the field of unconditional love that holds and supports us in our deepest nourishment so that we can thrive, so that we can be all that we are as the miracle beings that we are in these bodies on this earth. And it provides the natural, correct conditions for life. It sustains life. It nurtures us just like the womb of an infant. Holding those infinite potentials for life. And this encompasses the mother bond experience we have as child and mother in our biological mother's womb. It also connects to the womb of the earth, from micro to macro to the cosmic womb as well. And so we are being held within very many layers of membranes upon membranes nestled within each other. And so we may be outside of our mother's womb as an individual on the earth, but we are still held. We are completely enveloped within the cosmic womb. And that essence is permeating all spaces within us and effortlessly here to meet any of our needs without struggle, without fighting, because this is our birthright, by the right of our existence to be supported in this way. And so the great mother energy of this organic womb matrix, okay, the true meaning of matrix as womb, as uterus, as mother, that represents a great birthing energy, the potential to bring life into your visions, to bring life to this earth, all the creations, all of the manifestation potential. This is what fertility means. This is what abundance means. This is the presence of us, completely illuminated to the knowing of our true potential. This is how we are lit up. This is how we are sexual beings, because we're aroused through passion and joy, and we're called to a cause. We're an unstoppable force. And this is how we conceive. This is the conception, the miraculous, immaculate conception of being so at one with the source, with your own source, that you birth, you conceive these new states. This is the artistic expression and blueprint that we hold. We are all artists, and so many of us are yet to tap into that, are yet to be aware of this artistic blueprint. And these are all the frequencies of the mother matrix, the compassionate, loving care, the kindness, the softness, and this beautiful bond with the natural world, with our earth mother. And so the inverted matrix, this is an inversion of the mother energy. It is a false womb construct. And within this matrix, the systems that uphold it, government, education, financial systems, food production, these systems do not nourish and sustain us on any level. They are actually anti-life systems. Okay. And so what does that mean? Well, that means that they extract and drain life force rather than replenishing that life force. And so when we come into this world and we assimilate into this system, we are plugging in. It's in a sense like an energetic umbilical, a cord, a bind, where we create a dependency bond of entanglement with this societal matrix. We need the matrix to function. Okay. And this false inverted womb construct, the false mother womb, it mimics the mother energy because it tricks us into believing that we're supported within its systems, that our best interests are at heart, and that we are, that we are held within the system on every level. Yet it's actually designed for global creative oppression on a mass scale. From the very beginning of our birth into this world, it is a massive rush and effort to suppress all level of creative expression, empowerment. And there is such a rapid and intense agenda in diminishing the innocence and the purity of love on this earth. And what I've come to realize as well, that there is also a massive suppression of fertility. And this is something that I am predicting will become very prominent for humanity amongst men and women, more so than it already is. That we are coming face to face with this experience of infertility to move through the emotional anguish, the devastation that feels on a soul level, to not feel that we can be fertile. Okay, and I believe this is going to have a ripple effect through our whole template. It's not only about birthing children, but this is part of the activation that we're going through this dark night. Remembering that we're not here to partake in the polarity perspective. Everything I'm sharing here, I'm sharing it with an energy of neutrality. There is nothing to fight. Okay? There is no conflict here. I am illuminating these systems. I'm illuminating the womb constructs to help us to have a better understanding and to ignite this sense of freedom so that we can walk upon our higher path. Okay, so just to go into these systems with a little bit more detail, just expanding upon those systems. So we have the education system, which so many of us have experienced in our own personal journey of how we feel inhibited and restricted in terms of what we can do, what we can't do, what we can express, what we have to conceal and hold back, how we sort of have to fit in to that system. Okay, it restricts our creative expression, our unique tendencies and talents that we come in with from our galactic soul memories, and just that unique perspective that we hold. And that rigid curriculum that we all are faced with, we all have to sort of move through, is designed to generate participants, okay, workers within the continued functioning of that matrix, the inverted matrix. Then another system, the financial system that we're all dependent upon. Okay, we have the fractional reserve, lending money, money that doesn't even exist. Okay, people are living in significant debt, more than they have ever lived in before. And there is this pressurization that most of humanity is feeling when we cannot afford the basics, and we're working harder than ever, giving away our life force to jobs that are unfulfilling. And so this is another way that we are entrained within this system, within this inverted womb space, the false mother construct. Another play on words, it's right here in plain sight, right in front of our noses. Government. To govern something is to control it. Ment is the mental mind, okay, the temporal mental mind. Okay, so this is the thought control. It is the control of our perceptions. It is the control of how we understand things to be, and essentially that controls reality. Okay, and remembering that these systems are not here to honor our best interests, on any level, let alone spiritually. And then we have the healthcare industry, which is an industry that I used to be a part of. Okay, big pharma, it's a $40 billion per year industry. It's one of the biggest industries for profit. Okay, and so we are being funneled into that system because we are at times vulnerable and we require that support, and there are not a lot of other options out there, okay, that work holistically. And so there is a focus upon profit above the long-term health of humans. And then we have the food production system, which is something I'm going to go into in a little bit more detail because this is really, really important for us to understand. The food that we eat may look like food. Okay, our fruits, our vegetables, our produce, the things that we buy in the big chain supermarkets. But again, this is another level of trickery and deception. The food that we consume, okay, in mainstream conventional supermarkets is significantly lacking nutrient profile. Its nutrient profile, lacking nourishment, total loss of nutrient density. The soil that it's grown in, remembering that Gaia is also the mother matrix, okay, the organic womb. The soil that this produce is grown in is stripped of its bacteria profile. Okay, bacteria is necessary to be able to receive all of the nourishment that we need within our bodies so that we can be illuminated, empowered, and accelerate on that higher timeline. Okay, so these, again, food production systems are all profiteering off desecrating the earth body. And it goes against all natural laws and principles. Think about genetically engineered foods, synthetic fertilizers, and also this incessant agenda to make junk food or nutrient void food incredibly cheap and organic food incredibly expensive. And so other than air and water, which I might add are also two elements that are heavily polluted on purpose as well, okay, on this earth, food is our main source of bodily nourishment. And so in the organic mother matrix, we are embraced within that living biome of creation. In fact, we are interwoven thread by thread within that fabric. Okay, and this is what sustains us. It wraps us and envelops us by a generous, plentiful, abundant Gaia. One tomato seed in the correct soil, okay, will create and give you hundreds of tomatoes. The fractality of nature in its very core essence and blueprint is generous. Okay, so why are we attempting to control nature when it's already giving us everything we need? Why are we working, excuse me, why are we working against the planetary mother? We have been gifted all that we could ever need to be sustained and nourished. And again, having a nourished and sustained physical body is the temple of our soul spirit. Okay, this is directly linked into our spiritual awakening. So these inverted food production systems are trickery. Okay, they are deception, because when we go into a supermarket, okay, and this is happening right now with all of the closure of all of the local sort of independent supermarkets in this global recession, and all the big corporations are sort of taking over. And so many people in their local area only have the option of going to a big chain supermarket. And so when we're walking down the aisles and we're going through the produce section and we're seeing everything is so colorful, everything is so vibrant and shiny, and it's so aesthetically attractive. There's not a single imperfection on any piece of fruit, okay, or any vegetable. And our base sense perceptions feel enticed by that. We can feel a sense of wholesome nourishment as we sort of look around and we select the items that we want to have, because we're unconsciously equating its appearance with its nutritional value. And this is the discernment where we need to dig deeper. We need to see through those veils. We need to tune in to our more multidimensional perceptions to be able to feel the resonance, be able to feel the frequency, and tune into the story of that piece of produce. Okay, because it's communicating with us, and there's so much that is here to be seen beyond just the superficial layer of something looking bright or colorful. Okay, because beneath all that, or held within the fruit or vegetable, are artificial fertilizers, chemical growth accelerators, and even at the seed level, right? The seed of which was the genesis of that fruit. Okay, it's engineered, it's been tampered with, it's been restructured to better handle the unnatural conditions of the agriculture environment that it's been grown in, because the soils are exhausted. The soils don't have a bacteria profile, they are just dry rock. Okay, there is no life in that living biome, it's completely depleted. And so are we being nourished by this food system? Okay, this food system within the inverted womb matrix. Remembering that the mother energy is all about nourishment and nurturance. And so these systems don't reflect the true mother consciousness. In fact, they represent the opposite: deception and trickery and extraction of life force, making people sick, increasing disease, disharmony, incoherence in our bodies and therefore in our mind. Think about our gut connection to our thought forms. We're taking in all of these chemical growth accelerators and fertilizers. Okay, this is not going to support our journey of empowerment as a creator being. And so this goes against the principles of love and care and nourishment. And interestingly, just as so many of us experience this dependency bond, this umbilical connection and cording with the inverted womb matrix, okay, the produce that we're consuming is also now dependent and having a dependency bond upon the synthetic fertilizers which are pumped into the soil. Okay, and the pesticides that are now depended upon because the plants cannot protect themselves from diseases and pests as they naturally would. They have their own defense mechanisms. So they've been altered at the genetic level, and they've been taken completely off their own organic timeline and divine destiny. And this is an aggressive consumptive model of profiteering above our best interests, above our nourishment and our health and well-being. And so the inverted matrix, the inverted mother, is how we experience energy extraction rather than energy replenishment and perpetual sustenance. And so within this inverted matrix, the systems, okay, that we're living in and working in and studying in and all of it, okay, this is just stressing us on the deepest soul level. And whether or not, some beings recognize that consciously, it's still happening, because we've been separated from our true cosmic mother and her womb matrix, okay, that meets all of our needs so effortlessly and abundantly. And so we are not sustained in this system. And this does not support our true creative freedom and our fulfillment on any level. And so as we come into this world, we're unplugged from the true cosmic womb, and we're plugged in metaphorically, energetically, into an inverted womb, which extracts and it pulls our energy. It undernourishes us. And we become entangled with that in this reality because we've lost our memories. Okay, we have this deep-seated amnesia and we haven't truly understood what it is that we've lost. And so many sensitive souls, so many light beings are coming in right now with more of their divine dormant structures active, especially a lot of the children that are coming in, and probably all of you who are on this call, okay, these waves of incarnating groups of souls that have come to this earth for this volunteer mission of ascension. Okay, for these beings, the matrix becomes a very jarring and dense place. It's very difficult to exist here and to keep being so open and sensitive. Okay, and so we long at the deepest level of our being to be embraced, to be held and nurtured by the mother energy. And we know that this is possible because those structures, those memories are still emanating through us. They're transmitted through our pre-birthing galactic memories. Okay, and that's being preserved and maintained in a lot of these light beings. And that can make it devastating to be here because we know what is truly possible and we recognize what has been lost. And so most people across the globe have had to shut down emotionally. They've had to sort of disconnect themselves from their spiritual path to harden up and toughen up and soldier on and keep going with this hamster wheel and this constant, rigorous demanding of productivity that's always pulling on our life force, our attention, and we're always trying to make ends meet to keep afloat. And so in the inverted matrix, we're always running against the time. We never have enough time. Okay, time is money. Whereas in the organic mother matrix, in her organic womb space, it's timeless. And so when we disconnect spiritually, okay, when we disconnect emotionally, we start to create patterns of numbness, patterns of armoring, shielding. This is the undercurrent and cause of addictions, disease, mental health issues, disassociation, where our consciousness energy, our higher self, right, it's not really fully in the body. Excuse me, I've been really, really unwell all last week. Whew. And this numbness causes us to exist in states of indifference and apathy. Okay. So upon incarnation, we are plugged in to this inverted matrix. We're unplugged from our biological mother through our umbilical cord, which is so significant. And I'm going to go into this a little bit more. And we are plugged into this new reality, the inverted womb and all its societal systems, the government, the education, healthcare, financial systems, food systems as we grow up. Okay, and we adapt and we develop in this world. So we don't necessarily know anything different until our memories start coming back online. And so what I started to realize as well, just through my own experience as a soul, my own memories of coming into this world, that the natural mother-child bond is also a major point of target within this false womb matrix, as is fertility. Okay, there is such a deep conditioning to separate the mother and child. And you'll find this is why it is standard hospital protocol, in fact, enforced in most cases to have the umbilical cord cut from the newly born child within a matter of minutes. Okay, the first separation wounding on this earth that we experience. And so we're pulling, thinking about like pulling on a cord, we're pulling upon the matrix, we're trying to drink in and to be nourished and sustained by it. Okay, and mentally we have everything seems as though it's here for us, right? But we're actually feeling more stripped of our divine essence and more stripped of our vitality and emptier than ever before. We're feeling so depleted. Okay, and we can sense that there is such a lack of true maternal energy within these systems, which is so confusing to us on every level, which is why we have to shut down, which is why we have to disassociate. And we have an epidemic of that throughout the planet, okay, especially in modern times. So many beings are not in their bodies at all. Okay, and within this inverted womb, there is such a lack of care, a lack of protection, compassion. Okay, our innocence is not protected in this system. Think about the hypersexualization of children. Think about all the violence, the warring, the harm to innocence. So this womb matrix that we get plugged into, it's not a place where we feel safe. And so that creates hypervigilance, it creates anxiety problems, nervous system problems, stress, disease, ungroundedness. Okay. And within this system, there is such a rigid, controlled narrative that conditions our perspective. Okay. And then we're sort of presented, okay, well, this is the opposition. But even the opposition is controlled. It's just this polarity game. Where is the truth? Okay, within this system, it is so unsupportive spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And as souls, we feel orphaned from our true parents. This is not only the Divine Mother energy, this is also the Divine Father energy that we are feeling so abandoned by and neglected. And this distresses our spirit, okay? And it is so exhausting because our needs can never get met this way, no matter how much we plug into that matrix, no matter how much we invest in it, okay? It can never truly sustain us through this external means. The only way that we can be perpetually sustained is through our own source within us. Okay, and so we're plugging our metaphorical umbilical cord into this inverted matrix, okay, into all the outside information that's pumping us full of narratives and concepts to shape us, to influence who we think we are in this reality. And so this becomes a very difficult journey of navigating all of the complexities, the layering of conditioning, that accumulated programming over so many years of our lives, from childhood to adolescence to adulthood. We've been molded. Okay, and that's the personality construct that we create within this inverted matrix. Our personality is not who we really are. Okay, and many of us lose our true sense of direction, of that golden life path, that true higher potential that we have, our spiritual purpose, and all of the gifts and codes that we come in with. And so we create this personality or identity based on our job, our education, our status. Again, who we think we are, as conditioned or informed or influenced by the matrix. And of course, so many of us are so quick with our labels, okay, to take on an identity and to subscribe to that identity because it gives us a position within the matrix. Okay, the ego construct is not comfortable in the vastness, in the unknown, in the infinite possibilities. And there is such a magnetic compression that happens there because we start to affirm who we think we are, okay, by the position of our job, by our financial position, by whatever status we want to go by. But is that who we really are? And this is an identity that we've spent our whole lives curating, which is going through the various stages of dissolution and dismantling right now. And many beings on this earth are going through such distress and struggle in this death process, the dying and letting go of who they're not, but then also not really knowing who they are because they've subscribed to this identity for their whole life. And so we must learn to let go of what we think we know. Okay, our borrowed knowledge that comes from the matrix, that comes from our teachers, from our books, from all the ways that we've been influenced from external means. And we must start to turn our attention and focus inward to connect with our own inner gnosis, our own remembrance. And from there, we can step into our fullest potential, this beautiful guidance and direction that comes from within us, okay, leading us into those expanded states, those exalted states of joy and passion and inspiration, so that we can be fulfilled in that golden life path. And this is how we liberate ourselves, by ascending beyond the glass ceilings and the smoke and mirrors and all these parameters of the inverted matrix that are compressing us, that are causing us to play it smaller than we need to. Okay, but we need to let go of all of our dependency bonds. We need to cut that cord with our reliance on these systems. And so the inverted matrix is a distorted expression of reality. It is a means of capping our consciousness at a certain threshold. Okay, and it does not support our natural access of the big picture. It doesn't want us to really understand or tap into our true divine potential. And why is that? Well, imagine 7 billion people on this planet all knowing their true infinite potential, embodying that through their divine vessel. This inverted matrix would not exist. But due to our amnesia, our DNA damage, and all of the complexities of trauma, whether that's from our lifetime or our generational ancestral traumas, this is what enables it to continue to exist. But at this time of ascension, we're all awakening to this truth within us. And this is the illumination of disclosure as those veils get thinner and thinner, and we start to see from a new perspective. Okay, and so as I mentioned, I wanted to go into the energetic umbilical cord, okay, because this is so significant on so many levels to our journey of emancipation. Okay, so we're living in this system that is not fostering our spiritual connection to the big picture. We come through our mother's womb stargate. We spend 9 months developing in her womb, her organic womb. Okay, and from the moment of birth, the vast majority of us are cut off from the placenta. Our umbilical cord is cut. And we are cut away, severed from that bond of nourishment with our mother. And this is not just having a physical, it doesn't just affect us physically, it also affects us energetically, emotionally, and spiritually. And so we're cut within minutes away from the body of our mother. And then we are energetically entrained within the reversal systems of the false womb. And we need to understand that, I don't know if you've seen a real placenta before, okay, but they are so exquisite. They are the tree of life, this holographic soul map and internal access that we have. Okay, it is so rich in symbology. It is just so beautiful, such a divine organ. Okay, and this is this dismemberment experience that we're having. It's being cut away from us. And this is standard hospital procedure. Okay, hospitals are systems of the false womb matrix. They don't honor that connection. Okay, they don't understand or recognize that. And this is significant in terms of the placenta being separated from the infant, because it destabilizes our embodiment process from the very beginning. Okay, so this makes us more vulnerable to depend upon the false womb matrix. Where I live in New Zealand, the traditional Māoris call, well, they have the word for placenta, it is whenua, but also in the same language in te reo, whenua means land. So placenta and land are the same word in this beautiful language. And they knew that, the ancients knew this. Okay, they always honored the transition period of the incoming soul, okay, into embodiment, as well as burial rites. Okay, that is why whenua means land, because the placenta belongs in the soil, it belongs in the terrain, buried into the earth to anchor the incoming soul's consciousness into the earth plane, into the earth body. Okay, and this is supporting the grounding and descending current of our consciousness. Okay, when we're in the mother's womb, we are held within her biofield, within her aura, completely encompassed and nestled within her. But when we come out, we're an individual. Okay, and that connection of the placenta within the earth, this is the strength of our tree of life, with its roots firmly rooted into the soil. And this empowers our soul immensely. Okay, it fuels our greatest life path, our mastery and manifestation, because we birth into matter. Okay, when that grounding current is strong, we can birth, we can manifest anything. And there are so many beings on this earth that feel so disheartened and disappointed and disempowered that they're not able to create the reality that they would like to. They are not able to bring it into materialization as a lived, grounded experience. Okay, they're not able to change their conditions. And I believe that this is part of the shock wave that comes from the very beginning point when our umbilical is disconnected from the placenta. Okay, so the ancient cultures all around the world, this is not just here in New Zealand, this is every single culture on this earth, every indigenous culture understood, okay, the power of this connection, the significance of having a transition period, a sensitivity period, okay, because the placenta will dry out while still being connected to the child. It was salted, it was wrapped in cloth, herbs, flowers, all kinds of ways to honor this process of sacred, as sacred, and to sustain this unbreakable bond with the natural world, our ancestral memories, okay, the intelligence that's held here within the Earth Mother when we bury that placenta. And so when we look out at the world around us right now, there's so many of us that are seeing so much instability going on, so much volatility, all of these different global events that are happening. We are so disconnected from the earth. And humanity is feeling more separate than ever from the mother. We haven't been shown, we haven't been taught, okay, that our body is an extension of the earth mother. Just as an infant's body is an extension of its biological mother, it's made of the same material. Okay, genetically, we'll even look the same. Okay, but we, micro to macro, we are extensions of the earth body, even our elemental essence, right? We are composed of the same substance that she is, the very land that we walk upon in the natural world. Okay, in our DNA code, it even represents the 4 elements. We are one with the body of the earth. We are one with the mother, the true living organic matrix, the true womb. Okay, but why are we disrespecting, objectifying, and dishonoring the mother? We're not recognizing her as a living, breathing, sentient being that is awake and aware and deeply sensitive. So to bring harm to our earth mother, as we're seeing, all these corporations and companies and just such a lack of consciousness and empathy on this earth, okay, we're bringing harm to ourselves. Just like bringing harm to a pregnant mother brings harm to a child. Okay, and so we're going to start to speak about our journey of liberation from this inverted womb. Okay, how we are here to actually, as a huge part of our spiritual awakening is to unplug from everything that's not supporting us, everything that's not in our highest good. And most importantly, starting to access our own internal source, our own divine matrix. Okay, and as I mentioned, the divine mother energy is here within all of us. There's no separation. So we must resolve our dependency bond on the false mother womb to be able to liberate our body, our mind, our spirit from these inverted systems and how they have entangled our consciousness within this dependency bond that is not enabling us to be free. But we have eternal free will, but we must choose the higher timeline. So when we reunite with the Cosmic Mother, all of our needs are met. We no longer have to fight, to force, to hustle. Just like an unfurling flower, we just become soft, we become open and surrendered. Okay, and all of those guards, all of the armoring, all of the false identity constructs, the tough sort of like hardened up version of ourselves that we've had to be, okay, where we've let go of our gifts and our unique perceptions and our sensitivity, and we've just become this different version of ourselves based on this inverted womb. Okay, we can actually start to blossom and reveal the true beauty and divine nectar within us. And we transition, okay, from the ego mind of trying to control our reality as this transaction, okay, to feel safe and secure, because we've never felt safe and secure within the inverted womb. So we're always putting so much effort in trying to assure a sense of safety, whether that's financially, whether that's having a 10-year plan or a 20-year plan, or all these kinds of things where we stay with the conditions that aren't really supporting us, that aren't assisting us to thrive. Okay. And then we start to come back to our magnificent body temples, which are hosting us so beautifully in this life. Okay. They're the vehicle of our ascension. And so I'm going to speak a little bit about mitochondria and its connection to the inverted matrix. You know, how is it possible that this system is here, this inverted mother construct, this inverted womb? How did we get entrained in this system? Why were we not able to liberate ourselves from this system already? Okay. And so I believe that this has everything to do with the functioning of our mitochondrial DNA. And why is that? Well, our mitochondria are inherited from our mother line. Okay, from our mother, which is passed to her from her mother. So it's your grandmother and great-grandmother, going all the way back through time. And remembering it's passed from the mother to both her sons and daughters, but it is not passed from the male to his children. Okay, so it stops with the male, but all males on earth have mitochondria. Okay, this is a tightly maternal matriarchal encryption. It is a transmission of creation and empowerment and divine memory, the true source of our being that can only authentically be delivered through the mother. It works differently, okay, independently to nuclear DNA. So a child will receive nuclear DNA from both parents, but the child, whether that's a male or female child, will only receive the mitochondria from the mother. And the mitochondria are significant to our ascension process because they represent the preservation of an unbroken chain, okay, of genetic information. It's an internal traceable pathway all the way back through time, through our bodies, through the memory in our bodies. And we're talking about all the way back to the source. Okay, science is now revealing, you know, this metaphorical character of original Eve somewhere in Africa 170,000 to 200 years ago, a common ancestor of us all. Okay, but beyond that, way back through time, you know, before Atlantis, before Lemuria, you know, we were planets, we were stars, we were galaxies, we were nebulas, we were gases, we were elements. Okay, and going all the way back to the cosmic womb, the point of the nothing and the everything, the beginning point. This is the connection that our mitochondria has, so that we can be all the way out here on the periphery, on the earth, at the edge of the solar system, like having a physical 3D experience, but we are still connected, okay, to that great cosmic womb, to the mother that birthed all things. So this is a great birthing energy that is available to us through our mitochondria. And so adenosine triphosphate is the aspect of our mitochondria that creates the chemical energy. So that's what enables us to go about our day and all the functions that we have and have the energy requirements for our cells. It's the power packs of the cells. Okay, but adenosine triphosphate also supports the spiritual process of embodiment. Okay, that is the accretion of our soul's light, our spiritual presence through the cellular and the tissue matrix. So it's how our spiritual consciousness actually emanates through the physical body. And so ATP is the integration of our spiritual light through the cells of our body. It's our body giving rise to the animation of our soul. So our container, our body temple, is filled with our spirit. And this is our process, our natural access, okay, our organic blueprint. This is the divine legacy that's been preserved and handed down through the generations in our genetics of how we become self-actualized, how we illuminate ourselves from within, from our own inner light source. Okay, we become empowered, we shine brightly of our own source, filled with the substance and source of creation, meaning that we no longer require an external means of energy, okay, because we are birthing the higher timelines, okay, and we are capable of bringing that through into manifestation. And so mitochondria are so significant to our ascension process. And I believe that in the next years, a lot more spiritual leaders, a lot more teachers are going to start to become aware of this. So there's a lot that are talking about DNA, quantum DNA, the 12 strands of DNA, the Cathara tree of life, all of this. But I feel that mitochondria is going to be the next natural evolution and expansion of awareness that we will go through as we understand its connection to the mother matrix and its connection to our journey of ascension. Okay, and so this is the mitochondria that exists within our body, hundreds of thousands of mitochondria within all organs, reproductive system. It's all over the place, okay? They are within the cell, within the eukaryotic cell. And so this is what preserves our codes, our original memories of creation that have been passed down through the mother line. Okay, when a mother births her child and that child births their child, it's an unbroken chain. And that's why it's an encryption. It cannot be altered. It can't be hijacked. What we are experiencing right now with the loss of those memories is amnesia, but it doesn't take away the access that is always there. We just have to discover it. We have to have the divine will. Okay, we have to have a willing heart to be able to hold reverence for the mother and move inward and let go of this, dependency bond on the outside world. And so it becomes an unbroken chain, just like the Matryoshka dolls, the Russian dolls, they're nestled one within the other, life within life. Okay, this is the cocooning, membranes within membranes, keeping this encryption going all the way back through time. And so that transmission becomes uninterrupted. And it is a language of light. It is a divine intelligence that is speaking to us through the Great Mother, through our genetics. So this is an insurance, if you will, okay, of the mother's living light legacy throughout time and space, through all dimensionalization, in form, out of form. This is the unbreakable bond that holds us to our truth and supports us during this golden age of awakening. Okay, the end of the old times, the fallen times, the false father of tyranny, the patriarchy. Okay, and this is the return of the Great Mother. But it's happening inside of us. It's not necessarily happening outside of you. Okay, it is happening through the earth body. It's happening through the microcosmic internal world within us. Okay, and this is how we're going to rebirth ourselves, because it's a creative transmission. Think about all of your ancestors, all of the mothers, all of the great mother energy of birthing. Okay, all of the souls that have been birthed, all of the creations, the ideas, the visions, the songs, the creative expression of the feminine. This is how we are going to birth new earth and the new humanity. And so I believe that mitochondria is a mother god technology. It is a devotional offering. This is an aspect of our devotional template. Okay, it's bigger than ourselves. We're not just here transacting with life and doing things that only meet our own needs. We're not just creating for our own gratification. There's something so much bigger than that. Okay, and that's what the legacy is showing us and teaching us. The voices of our mother, okay, her mother, our great grandmother, all the way back through time. We're hearing those songs. Okay, we're feeling that transmission more and more alive within ourselves. And ultimately, this is the preservation of our creator blueprint. We are all creator beings. Okay, but a lot of us haven't recognized our creativity because we live in an inverted womb matrix that suppresses creative energy. It suppresses original expression. It suppresses our artistry. Okay, but this is how we birth new states of consciousness, through our divine temples, through the cellular material of our body. Okay, this is how we birth new creations. This is how we even rebirth ourselves from the old version that no longer feels aligned with us. We rebirth ourselves. Okay, and with that, the higher timelines. And this is how we birth ourselves out of the inverted matrix, how we emancipate ourselves from the false womb. So these are these miraculous, immaculate, untainted genetic key codes of Mother's cosmovision. And this works throughout time and space. It is ancient future technology of incorruptible creation. It is the true mother matrix alive within our bodies, connecting us at all times with every breath to the great mother energy, to the source of all things. This is our empowerment, our liberation, and our freedom whilst in the body, whilst on earth. Okay. So our mitochondria is this living memory within us. Okay, that's empowering us to create because it's preserving that birthing energy, that creator energy. Preserving the knowing of ourselves as God Goddess. And it is an internal transmission of geometry, plasma, light, and sound vibration. Igniting the truth of our divine essence and the true creation principles that is our birthright to remember. As the amnesia dissolves, we're going to start to remember this more and more. And so I mentioned the adenosine triphosphate, that chemical energy within the cells that kind of empowers us to meet the cell requirements of energy as we move about the day. But the mitochondria, okay, they are our internal source of light. It is a technology of embodiment. And this is the generational baton that's been passed to us through our light genetics. It is the empowerment and means to our freedom while in form. This is how we create in full originality. This is how we shine bright. This is how we experience longevity, health and wellness, joy and passion, and just total vitality. There are so many masters that walked on this earth that were literally illuminated. I mean, glowing, like glowing skin, aura, completely radiant. These are beings whose mitochondria were fully functioning, okay, fully tapped into that source of light. Because we are generators of light. We are not batteries for the inverted matrix any longer. And Zach Bush is someone who's been putting out a little bit about mitochondria. I saw a very short reel not long ago, but he said a cubic centimeter of the mitochondria that makes up our human form releases 10,000 times more light than the surface of the sun. We have not been taught how powerful we are. This inverted womb matrix will never support that understanding. We must go on our own journey within, okay, to find that source and to understand that the light is within us because we contain the whole. And so again, how is it possible that we've been living in this system that's been extracting our life force, that, you know, we've been codependent upon, that's not meeting our needs, that's completely distressing us on a soul level? This has happened because of the mitochondrial depletion that we are experiencing within ourselves. Okay. And this is because of the inverted systems, the way that the mother consciousness has been suppressed throughout time, thousands and thousands of years. Our mitochondria is not functioning the way that it should. All of the generational trauma, the widespread suppression of the great mother, okay, the mother of the family, all these gender roles, all this oppression, okay, in the patriarchy, the harm that's being brought to women, the birth trauma that we all go through, and the way that we are losing that creative essence through all of the systems that condition it out of us. All of those stories are passed on through our genetics. And so we've been forcing ourselves to fit into this inverted reality, which brings such great pain and sadness to humanity, to our ancestors. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, it affects all levels and aspects of us. But because we haven't known anything else in our recent history, we've lost our memories, we've experienced widespread amnesia, humanity is not really aware that we've been existing without our mitochondria functioning the way that it was divinely designed to. And therefore that transmission of the mother, okay, that is not being felt by people. And so we're constantly trying to fill this gaping energy void within us because we're so drained, going to work, being in traffic, watching TV to numb out, eating food that poisons us, let alone doesn't nourish us. So we're constantly looking for ways unconsciously to fill this energy void within us, and we find ourselves looking to the external world to consume. Again, the umbilical, energetic umbilical, pulling, tugging on the inverted matrix, asking for nourishment, asking for sustenance. But we're not getting that. And this is the cause of addictions, the dependency bond on the false mother, who can never meet our needs, who can never sustain us. And this becomes a vicious cycle of dependency due to the cellular depletion that we've been experiencing. Okay, but yet I'm here to tell you that your light source is within you. There is nothing that you need outside of you. You create your own light. You create your own water. You create your own minerals. You create your own vitamins. Everything is inside of you. And with that knowing, you can create, you can birth and wield and manifest new states of consciousness, exalted timelines. And if we all knew this and we all could unplug from this false mother and plug into the true divine mother matrix, okay, the true womb of creation and the beautiful transmission that comes through from the mitochondria, we would be creating heaven on earth already. Okay, but we are working towards that, the more beings that awaken. And so the mother lineage of our ancestors, of all of our ancestors, this sacred legacy, they are voicing their great message within us through our genetics. Okay, this is the divine destiny that they've been illuminating for eons of time, guiding us to the right way forward as we free ourselves from the inverted womb matrix and we shine of our own source. Okay. Within every cell of our body, that's what ATP is doing. ATP is not just chemical energy. It is the luminescence of your soul through the body matrix, through the physical body. And this is how we're going to anchor the new timeline on earth. And this technology, this organic, loving transmission has been preserved within our genetics. That is why it could only be passed from the mother. Okay, it is a fail-safe mechanism of ensuring that all of us can remember, no matter how much trauma we've been through, no matter how much our relationship with our Earth Mother is not healthy or, harmonious, no matter what we've been through, we still have that memory within us. And it's just a matter of accessing it, okay, with love in our hearts, with divine curiosity and reverence for creation. This is the Homo Luminous. Okay, this is the illuminated being that you are becoming. And this is how one exits the inverted matrix. But to do this, we must come back into right relationship with the mother energy. We must heal all separation on the deeper soul level. Okay, and dissolve these veils that have kept us in the shadows, that have kept us blind to our true creator power, our true birthing, manifestation power. We must hold reverence for the great mother energy. And that doesn't mean that we have to forget about the things that have happened to us in terms of any trauma, in terms of abuse, neglect, or abandonment from our Earth Mother, but it does require us to hold reverence for those incarnation gates and for the sanctity of life. Okay, to be able to be grateful to be in this life, to be able to come through the womb portal at the very minimum. Holding that reverence, that deep love and gratitude for our ancestral matriarchal lines and all the birthers of a civilization. Every person on this earth came through a womb. And we all have this internal access and pathway to connect to our creative potential and that birthing energy that is required for us to be living the higher timeline. And this is how we start to recognize our creation power and start to direct this immense spiritual energy, okay, that's more powerful and brilliant than the sun of our solar system. Just imagine, okay, 10,000 times brighter than the sun, more light, more photonic light coming through us. This is the cellular soul animation. We are Homo Luminous. We are being illuminated from within. We are glowing. And that represents a being that knows their true potential and that is here to offer that to the world in whatever way lights them up the most. with purpose, passion, joy, excitement, and artistic freedom. This is why we've been feeling so dimmed and darkened and depressed by the inverted womb, because we can't shine in that system. We can't be who we truly are. We have to conceal it. We have to hide our truth. And so this is a process of acknowledging that the source is within us. It is not outside of us. And we must learn to unplug from the systems that do not support this knowing, and hold sacred intention to heal our mitochondria, to access this power within us, because we are the light bearers. We are the light beings. We always were. But we are here to shine of our own source. And so I hope that this message supports you in all of the ways that you need it the most, that are in the highest good. And honoring each and every one of you for being here with me all the way to the end. And I hope that this has impacted you in such a profound yet gentle way, and to support your journey of empowerment, your journey of self-actualization. And I'm sending so much love to each and every one of you, honoring the great mother energy that weaves its way through all of us, through all of our being. And so it is.